Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another unique episode of my Road to James Gunn Superman series. Today, I'm going to try my best to put an end to this discussion that I think has gone on for far too long, a discussion that I think should never really exist. And that is Superman irrelevant and or outdated? And my response to that is absolutely not. Superman, I think, is a relevant character, always has been a relevant character. As a matter of fact, I think he's more relevant now more than ever, considering the times we live in today, where people are in fear, where people are, you know, not as hopeful or optimistic as they should be, where people lack leadership, where people lack compassion and respect for one another, where people don't treat each other with respect as they often should. Um, People often wonder, why do people like Superman? Why is he still around? Well, it's simple. He's optimistic, he's charismatic, he inspires hope through optimism rather than instilling fear through vengeance. He's also he's also an idealistic figure. You know, he represents strong, legitimate, and powerful leadership. He's a leader among leaders. Um, he brings out the best in people. He sees the best in people. He's willing to give people the benefit of the doubt, unlike a certain Bat hero. You know, Superman is willing to accept people and is willing to let people earn his trust. You know, Superman is all about representing the best of humanity, representing the best qualities of a human being. I always believe that every character has their own story, and that every character has their own story to tell. And I always believe that if every hero, every character had the same story to tell, then shit would not be interesting whatsoever. That's what I always believed. Let Batman, Spider Man, Wolverine, Ghost Rider, Goku tell their side of the story. Let Superman do what he do best, and that's being a hero, showing others on what it means and what it takes to be a hero. You know, I could go. The fact that people question Superman's relevance, I think, is insulting and blasphemous. The first time I ever heard this conversation was when I was in college, and part of me wanted to lose my shit. Like, how dare you say that? But I kept my cool, I kept my composure. So, Superman is not just a character, he is an ideal to strive towards, and people don't seem to understand why. People just don't like him because they just don't want to understand the character. Well, I can get more on that when I probably discuss about his naysayers and haters sometime in the future. But until then, Superman is just a timeless character. I say he's always been relevant, and I'd say he's more relevant now more than ever considering the things I just mentioned. Not every hero has to be dark, brooding, angry, and vengeful to be successful. Not every character has to be super ultra hardcore flawed and edgy to be successful. As I said before, let every character tell their own story. Every character has a story to tell. Every character has their own story. If you give the character the same freaking story, guess what? It's not going to be as interesting. It's not going to be as interesting. It's not going to be as tasteful. It's like you go to the restaurant and you keep going. It's like going to the same restaurant over and over again. You gotta change it up once in a blue moon, because then you're gonna get sick of it. So anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about that. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.